Hi guys, Alice Taylor down here at Living Golf Academy, and today we're going to talk about how to keep your ball position as simple as possible. Right then guys, so ball position can be a bit of a confusing situation, but by getting the ball position correct, it's going to help you deliver the club at the correct angle of attack, hopefully present the right amount of loft and help you hit better shots. But let's use a nice simple concept on how to get that perfect ball position every single time. Right then guys, so ball position is so important because it's helping create those impact positions, and particularly the way we deliver the golf club into the golf ball to give us our best shots. Now, I think most of you guys are aware that when we're with our shorter clubs, we want to feel that the club's travelling down more through impact, and as we move up onto driver on the tee, the club head should be moving up through impact. So what I see with a lot of guys, and part of this is very, very good, is that certainly with the short irons, they talk about the ball being very central in the feet, and then as the clubs move longer and longer up onto driver, a lot of guys talk about kind of left heel, maybe even left big toe. Now the little challenge I have when you talk about ball position relative to your feet is I think it depends massively on how wide you stand. So obviously being in the centre doesn't really change, but if I were to get the ball opposite my left heel, standing at that kind of width, it's kind of opposite my armpit on there, but if I stand wider, all of a sudden that ball position is now outside my left shoulder, which then I think creates a massively different place in the golf swing. Certainly the path of the club will be working more to the left, and potentially that's going to create a bigger slice for guys. So what I like to talk about with ball position is if we are 7-iron down to lob wedge, we're going to have the ball very much opposite your sternum, so that as you swing the golf club, we're aware that the low point of the swing would be after the golf ball. And as an example, let's say 3-4 inches after the ball. So because the low point would be that far forward, the club would still be travelling down a reasonable amount, which would create that downward strike, get the ball going, nice powerful flight, and get some distance. Now the furthest I like to see the ball forward for many golfers, and there is the odd exception to every rule, is that once the ball's teed up with driver, we're aware we need to hit it on the way up. So I would then probably be very slightly wider with my stance anyway, but I would want the ball opposite my armpit. So for me, slightly inside my heel. So I still know that the low point of my swing's slightly behind the golf ball, and that's now going to get the club travelling up through it. I think it controls my angle of attack, but also keeps my kind of club path a little bit more neutral, helping me take a little bit of shape off the golf ball. One of the straighter ones that I would hit. So the big thing for me with ball position is keep it really, really simple. So you never ever want the ball further back than the sternum. And you can see there that would be very central in my stance. Then as I get to 6-iron up, the ball position just starts to move very gradually further forward. Now all that's doing as I move on to 4-iron, for example, I'd have 7-iron opposite the sternum, so 4-iron maybe an inch, inch and a half forward. The low point of my swing is going to be in a pretty similar place that it was with 7-iron, but it's now going to be a little closer to the golf ball. That will mean that the club head will be travelling a little shallower through impact. With something like 4-iron not having a huge amount of loft on it, we don't need to necessarily be de-lofting the club too much. That'll take care of my angle of attack, keep my launch angle where I need it to be, and make it much easier for me to hit that shot. But the reason I like guys to use kind of sternum as the furthest back and kind of armpit as the furthest forward is even if you get a little bit out of position, it's actually not a dramatic change. Therefore, the impact conditions that you create with the club will be more consistent, and it'll help you deliver more consistent shots. So like I said, never further back than the sternum. There might be the odd shot where you're hitting it under a tree or something, a branch where you want to, but never further back than the sternum. With driver, never further forward than your armpit. Even then, if the width of stance changes, The ball is staying very much in a consistent part of the arc. Like I said, really helping you to be much more consistent, but keep the ball position as simple as possible. Right then guys, hope you've enjoyed that very short video on perfect ball position. Let's make it as simple as possible and make it easy for you to get it correct or as close to correct every single time. Comment below, let me know if you've put this stuff into practice, let me know if it's helped. I will get back to as many people as I can. Hopefully you've enjoyed the video though. If you have, like and share it. Click the subscribe button if you don't already. Ring the notification bell, make sure you get my videos as soon as they land. Follow me on all my social media platforms, all under Ali Taylor Golf. Hopefully catch up with some of you guys down here in the future. Stay in contact.